we don't have an obligation to lose money on your fights, we're not going to be queuing up to do so.
That man Eddie Hearn just snapped on Devin Haney. We're going to talk about what Eddie Hearn had to say in his clapback to Devin Haney. Yeah, y'all don't want to miss this one. Some of y'all going to be biting blood out your bottom lip, but it is what it is. Before we get into the video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's cook on this. Well, I guess Devin and old Eddie Hearn, they ain't friends no more after this. So recently, as we have all seen play out, Devin Haney, man, he had a purse bid against Sandor Martin, who is his mandatory for that WBC strap. And for those who don't know, a purse bid got to go down when you got a mandatory and the two teams can't come to agreement. So the WBC, they'll mandate it. They'll make y'all go to a purse bid, and any promoter can bid on the fight to have it under their promotional company. Well, Devin Haney, he pissed off because Eddie Hearn didn't bid on the fight at all. And with that happening, Top Rank won the purse bid for only like $2.4 million. So that means that Devin Haney either is going to have to walk away from that WBC strap and get stripped, or fight Sandor Martin and split the $2.4 million with Sandor Martin. Now, it ain't going to be no 50-50 split. It'll be more probably like a 70-30, 65-35, 60-40 split, whatever they come out to. But it's either that or drop that strap. And Devin Haney made it clear when he found out what was going down, and when he found out that Eddie Hearn didn't even bid on the fight, he made it clear on social media, like, man, that's nasty work. How you gonna play me like that when I thought we was locked in? I thought we was good. And then he went on to say, man, I could have just bidded on the fight and paid myself more than that. And he went back and said, you know what? I'm promoting all my own fights from now on unless I work with, and then he just left it like that, saying it is somebody in the game that he'll work with, but he didn't say who it was. Now, Eddie Hearn, he felt some type of way because, of course, in between all of that, Bill, he got to run in his mouth. You know, Bill always gonna run his mouth. So Eddie Hearn, he done heard all this, and man, he feels some way about this. Yeah, you know, Eddie, man, he ain't gonna let nothing fly by without clapping back. And that's exactly what Eddie did, man. He clapped back, and oh, did he clap back. Let's listen to what Eddie had to say, and we're going to come back, and we're going to continue to cook on this.
Nothing really. I mean, we have no contractual obligation to Devin Haney. Just like he has a free agent and has been and is talking to other people, he will do what suits him, and we will do what suits us. If you don't pledge your loyalty to us, if we don't have an obligation to lose money on your fights, we're not going to be queuing up to do so. Devin Haney against Sandor Martin is not a fight that will provide commercial success for anybody around the levels required to win that fight. Do I want to lose $1 million on Devin Haney against Sandor Martin? No, thank you very much. I will do if I have a contractual obligation and you've pledged your loyalty towards me. Devin Haney also has Devin Haney Promotions, who, you know, it's all very nice having your logo on a backdrop, but are you prepared to stick your money and your balls on the line? The answer, as we saw, was no.
Hey, why that man called Devin Haney bluff like that? First of all, he pretty much was like, man, I'm not losing another penny on Devin Haney. If I'm not contractually obligated to lose money on him and continue to lose money on him, I ain't doing it. That's basically what he was saying. And then he said, well, he running around here talking about he got his own promotional company. Well, why you didn't bid on the fight? You got your logo. You know what I'm saying? It's cool for these fighters to have a logo running around pretending like they have a promotional company. But what events are you promoting? So Eddie Hearn was letting you know, basically, even when DHP Promotions was on the ring, when it was a matchroom event, it wasn't about nothing. That was just them letting him put his logo on there. Hey, hey, and I've heard this from several promoters, man. They laugh at a lot of these fighters claiming that they have their own promotional company. Cause basically what they telling you is that don't mean nothing because they really not even getting paid nothing off of it. If they getting paid a little bit of a difference, well, that's just what it is, a little bit of a difference. So man, Eddie Hearn, man, really turned up on Devin. And plain and simple, he was like, man, I don't owe you shit. You ain't with our promotional company. You running around talking to other promoters. So you're not obligated to Matchroom, and we definitely not obligated to continue losing millions on you. Because he went on to say, man, I don't want this Sandor Martin fight. I'm not losing no $1 million on Devin Haney. And that's been the thing that a lot of people been saying is that these promoters, man, that have worked with Devin Haney, they've lost a lot of money promoting Devin. Of course, Golden Boy promoted him in his last fight, and that fight didn't lose money. Bob Arum, he said he lost money on Devin Haney before, but he said, I believe the Vasil Lomachenko fight, he said that they broke even. And Eddie Hearn, he done lost a shit ton of money on Devin because he was overpaying Devin. Bill and Devin was running around talking about how much they was getting overpaid, like they was robbing the bank. And Eddie had people above him he had to answer to, spending all that money on Devin. But now, this is what we seeing now, right? And this is what we see with a lot of promoters, just like we used to see with Don King back in the day. But see, the only difference with Don King is Don King had all of the fighters pretty much locked up. If Bob Arum didn't have them, Don had them. And so Don would have his stable fight each other, and he would walk in the ring with one fighter, and if that fighter lost, he'll be right in the corner of the other fighter, waving his flag, raising the other fighter's hand, and he would act like that the fighter that lost, that he was promoting, never existed. And that's what you see with Eddie Hearn. It was all good when Devin was that dude that was undisputed, when Devin was beating everybody, when he thought that Devin could not be beat. But now he's seeing Devin go out there and get his ass kicked all around that ring. And now he's like, hey, you know what? I don't know what you're going to do, but it ain't going to be with us over here on Matchroom. Now, if I think I can make some money out of you, well, then we could work together. But other than that, we ain't got no more business, and we don't have no more obligations to Devin Haney. So you running around here, moving around, talking to all these other promoters, do you, and we gonna do us. And Eddie ain't wrong when he said that Devin is not our fighter, so we don't have no obligation to him. We don't have to bid on something if we don't want to bid on it. He's right about that. If Devin wants to be with Matchroom, well, go over there, sign a long-term deal with Eddie Hearn, lock in, and then, like Eddie said, then we'll look at options on losing out on money with you, like we did in the past. But real talk, I don't really think Eddie is too interested in signing Devin Haney no more to a long-term deal, because a lot of people see what Devin is, man. He in a hard place right now because he's not a big ticket seller, right? He's not a big pay-per-view seller, and he's not the best fighter at 140 or at 147 if he moved to that division. And he in a hard place right now because, man, he really got to show out for him to start getting back on that path that he was on before. And it ain't really nowhere for him to duck and hide. All of these fights at 140 or 147 that's going to bring him a nice payday, they all very, very hard fights that he can lose. And Eddie Hearn, as a promoter, he understands that. So all of that shit that Bill and Devin was doing before, you know how they did Shakur, how they lied on him, and all of that stuff is coming back. How they did to Tank Davis and putting his mug shot up and all of that, man. All of that stuff is coming back full circle on Devin and them. And hey, it's getting ugly, and it's going to get a lot more ugly. Just go back and look at how they was moving, how they was down talking on other fighters. It was nasty work, the shit that they was doing when they was on top. But hey, it all comes back. I know a lot of y'all mad, bite blood out your bottom lip, but it is what it is. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure you hit my like button, subscribe to the channel, and y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.
So everybody see. Yeah, I hope you got big lungs if you're rolling with me. I roll quickly, roll many, plus I'm rolling sticky.